She began to roll all over the ground, the pain turning her face yellow and her lips white. All she could do was to cry out, "Brother-in-law, son, please spare my life." Only then did Pilgrim stop his movements, saying, "Do you now recognize me as your brother-in-law? I'll spare you for the sake of Big Brother Bull. Bring out the fan quickly for me to use." Rak-Asi said, "Brother-in-law, I have the fan. You come out and take it. Bring it out and let me see it first," said Pilgrim. Rak-Asi told one of her maids to hold up a palm leaf fan and stand on one side. When Pilgrim crawled up to her throat and saw it, he said, "Since I'm going to spare you, sister-in-law, I'll not scratch a hole in your rib cage to come out. I'll leave through your mouth. Open it 3 times." That Rak-Asi did as she was told, and Pilgrim at once flew out as a mole cricket, which then alighted on the palm leaf fan. Rak-Asi did not even see him. She opened her mouth 3 times and kept saying, "Brother-in-law, please come out." Changing at once into his original form, Pilgrim took the fan in his hand and said, "I'm right here. Thanks for lending it to me." He started to walk out of the cave in big strides. The little ones hurriedly opened the door to let him out of the cave. Mounting the clouds, our great sage headed back toward the east and, in a moment, arrived at his destination, dropping down beside the red brick wall. 8 Rules was delighted when he saw him. "Master," he shouted, "Elder Brother has returned." Tripitaka came out of the house with the old man and Sha Monk to greet Pilgrim, and they all went back inside. Pilgrim stood the fan to one side and asked, "Sir, is this the fan?" It is," replied the old man. Highly pleased, the Tang monk said, "Worthy disciple, you have made a great merit, but you must have worked very hard to acquire this treasure." "No need to talk about the hard work," replied Pilgrim. "But who do you think is that immortal iron fan?" "It's actually the wife of the Bull Demon King, the mother of Red Boy, whose name is also Rak-Asi. She is also called the Princess Iron Fan. I went to her cave to try to borrow the fan, but she wanted to settle the old score with me, hacking me a few times with her swords. I used the rod to frighten her, and that was when she brought out this thing and gave me a fan. I drifted all the way back to the little Sumeru mountain, where I was fortunate enough to see the Bodhisattva Lingji. He gave me a wind-arresting elixir, and pointed out to me the way back to the Jade Cloud Mountain. I saw Rak-Asi again, and when she couldn't drive me away with her fan this time, she retreated back into her cave. Old Monkey then changed into a mole cricket to fly inside. She was just asking for tea, so I dived inside the tea bubbles and managed to get inside her stomach. When I waved my hands and feet, she had such unbearable pain that she couldn't stop calling me brother-in-law and asking me to spare her. When she was finally willing to lend me her fan, I did spare her and brought back this fan. After we have crossed the mountain of flames, I'll take it back to her." On hearing this, Tripitaka thanked him repeatedly. Then master and disciples took leave of the old man. They proceeded westward for some 40 miles, and they began to feel the heat growing more intense and more oppressive. "My feet are on fire." Sha Monk could only cry. "They are killing me," said 8 Rules. Even the horse was trotting more rapidly than usual, but because the ground was becoming hotter all the time, they found it exceedingly difficult to go forward. "Master," Pilgrim said at length, "please dismount. And don't move, brothers. Let me use the fan to extinguish the fire. Allow the wind and rain to cool off the earth first before we try to cross this mountain." Lifting high the fan, Pilgrim dashed up to the flames and fanned at them with all his might. On that mountain, the blaze grew brighter than ever. He waved the fan a second time, and the fire became more intense 100-fold. He tried for a third time, and the fire leapt 10,000 feet tall, roaring toward him. Pilgrim dashed away, but already the hair on both his thighs was completely burnt off. He ran back to the Tang monk, shouting, "Go back! Go back! The fire's coming. Climbing on the horse, our elder galloped toward the east, followed by 8 Rules and Sha Monk. They retreated for some 20 miles before they rested. "Wukong?" said the elder. "What happened?" "It's a mess," replied Pilgrim, throwing the fan away. "She has tricked me." On hearing this, Tripitaka became utterly dejected. Tears streaming down his face, he could only say, "What shall we do?" "Elder brother," said 8 Rules. "Why did you yell for us to go back so hurriedly?" "I fanned at the mountain once," said Pilgrim, "and the blaze grew brighter. I did it a second time and the fire became even more intense. A third wave of the fan made the flames leap up 10,000 feet tall. If I hadn't run fast enough, all my hair would have been burned away." With a chuckle, 8 Rules said, "You have often made the claim that you can be hurt neither by thunder nor by fire. How is it that you are afraid of fire now?" "Oh, idiot," said Pilgrim. "You just don't know anything. On those occasions, I was always prepared, and therefore I could not be hurt. Today I was only trying to extinguish the fire with the fan, and I did not even make the fire repellent sign, nor did I use magic to protect my body. So, the hair on both my thighs is burned up, if the fire's so intense," said Sha Monk. "And there's no way to get to the west. What's to be done?" "Let's head for the direction where there's no fire," said 8 Rules. "Which direction?" asked Tripitaka. 8 Rules said, "There's no fire in the east, the south, and the north." "But which direction has scriptures?" Tripitaka asked again. 8 Rules said, "The west." "I only want to go where the scriptures are," said Tripitaka. Sha Monk said, "Where there are scriptures, there's fire. Where there's no fire, there are no scriptures. We are in some dilemma." As master and disciples were chatting like that, they heard someone calling, "Great sage, please do not be distressed. Take some food first before you think of what you want to do." The 4 of them turned to look and they saw an old man who wore a wind-wafted cape and a cap of half-moon shape, who held a dragon head cane and trod on iron-gaitered boots. He was followed by a demon with a hawk beak and a fish jowl. The demon's head was supporting a copper pan in which were placed some steamed cakes, puddings, and rice of yellow millet. The old man stood by the road and bowed, saying, "I'm the local spirit of the Mountain of Flames. When I learned that the great sage and the holy monk could not proceed, I came to present you a meal. Food is of small concern to us at the Monant," said Pilgrim. "How can we extinguish this fire so that my master can cross over the mountain?" "If you want to extinguish the fire," said the local spirit, "you must ask the Rak Asi for the palm leaf fan." Picking up the fan from the side of the road, Pilgrim said, "Isn't this the fan? But the blaze grew bigger than ever when I fanned at it." "Why?" When the local spirit saw it, he laughed and said, "This is not the real fan. You've been tricked." "How can I get the real one?" asked Pilgrim. Again bowing and smiling gently, the local spirit said, "If you the real palm leaf fan desire, then King Powerful you must inquire. We do not know for what reason they must seek the mighty king. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter.